usual the paper factors, you know, you have to change all those. But it was a bit of a puzzler because, you know, you're going through the signal generator and can't quite exactly see where the problem is. It's actually the valve breakers. Mentioned the other day, Paul, they don't glow at all, so it's often difficult to see whether the actual, you know, whether the filaments are working or not. So that was you know, a bit of a problem. But anyway, I got it working eventually. So another one for it'll do as a Christmas present to somebody. Anyway, I'll pass it on to you then, Paul. M1 TVC in the group from GW0FZY.
G6 TVJ calling.
Yep. Okay, Ian. Put it on to you in a moment. But I'm going to make this a final, guys. I've got a fair bit to do today, and one of them is to phone up MOT testing centre and get my BMW bike MOT today, as we've got a fine morning. We've now got sunshine, so very good morning to you, Justin. 15 over with me. Well done on the battery portable. Yes, those valve bases can be hard plain. They used a lot of metal valve holders, and they don't necessarily grip very well. I've got a very small long-nose pliers, and I find that with a bit of a gentle use and a scriber, you can actually sort of close the contacts of the valve bases and make them grip tighter. And that might be a little bit of a quicker solution than changing all the valve bases, which is a heck of a job if they've wired the thing properly and really mechanically fix the connections to the pins before they solder them. Excuse me, get rid of the frog. I suppose one thing you can do with those miniature bases is to snip all the pins of the valve base and then unsolder them one by one. Anything not connected to the valve base at all. If you're going to just replace the base, that's probably the easiest thing to do, and is the usual way to get out multi-pin integrated circuits without damaging the board. Snippable with a pair of fine wire cutters, and then take out the bits one by one. So anyway, glad you got that done and working. Yeah, well, I won't get it again. I don't have any love of those B7G battery valves, as you know. But as I say, well done on that. Good morning to Colin. About 5 over. Colin with me. Conditions a little bit up and down today, and you know, so I don't take. Normally you'd be stronger than that, but I don't think it's necessarily the aerial that Ian, you were a strong signal, well over 9 on the column, so nothing wrong with your signal. All others are standing up. And 7-3 to the people that I've crossed off, which is Trevor, Les, Brian, and Stuart. Stuart, if you just happen to stop and listening, that hum, when you said, oh, hang on, I've got a difference, I'm going to retune, whatever you did made the hum instantly disappear here. And then it did come back when you came back, but it was nowhere near as strong as it had been. It was unfortunately making your station unreadable. It was so strong here, and it happened on both types of detection. I did switch and synchronous detection out. So anyway, it might well have something to do with the tuning. Okay, well I haven't crossed off the northern stations, Ray and Andy, so I assume they're still there. But I know that you guys can sort it out. And wish you 7-3s. Thanks for your company today. Nice conversation. Conditions, well, and down, but at least we're still communicating. And I'm I'm getting a frog. I need a couple of licks, yeah. So have a good day, guys. Catch you tomorrow morning if you're on the air. G3 VTD from M1PBC. Listening for about another 5 minutes, guys, but then having to cut and run.
A great affinity with those. I think in the very, very early days, in the sort of 50s and maybe early 60s, I thought the idea of being able to walk out into the middle of a field and open a lid and have music coming out of the radio was quite amazing. I bought one some years back. It was a Pi P118 or something like that, and it's got a leatherette case, and when you open the case the thing comes alive, and it's got a frame aerial built in the case, and it works extremely well, unlike yours. The audio output transformer doesn't share its own circuit, and valves themselves are capable of great current, but there must have been noise while you're at the Where my good lady lives, there's two major builders in quite a small village putting up lots of houses, but of course they're all 250, 300k, and maybe what we need is some lower priced houses. But I think in some of these contracts there is a clause that they have to build a percentage of affordable low-cost housing along with the 300k plus ones. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to bid you a very good morning from a slightly overcast but nice and warm Pontefract, and hopefully catch up with you all in the morning. I've got a day off today, which is nice, so I've got plans for doing all sorts. So from me, I'm going to pass it round to Ian, G6TVJ, and leave you the frequency and bid you all a very good morning. So G6TVJ to take it with the group, G3VTD signing and wishing you all a very good morning, gentlemen. I guess Ian's not listening or hearing me, sorry.
I'll relay, I'm still listening. Right. I'm sorry, Ian, I should have passed it to you first. G6TVJ to pick up M1PBC, and Ian, if you can put it on to Andy, T4AJY, M1PBC, now gone, lads.
G6TVJ returning. Okay, thanks for that, Paul, and good morning to you. Hope you have a good day. Hope your bike passes its MOT there. Well, hello to all stations. I've just been sat here listening for a little while from a slightly murky Bristol. Quite cloudy here actually, so I'm glad you got. I think you mentioned you had sunshine there, Paul. I take it you're a fair weather biker. Oops, didn't say that. I've been known to be a fair weather motorcyclist in my past, but so it's a bit cloudy here. I've been listening for a while, and the conditions are a bit strange this morning, as I think one or two other people's commented. I'll read out some reports. I think the first station I caught this morning was Brian, G4LJC, about 5 over 9, so that was the bad signal actually. I heard Stuart with his hub this morning, but it wasn't quite so good, only about 10 over 9. And poor old Colin, I don't know whether you can copy me, Colin, but you weren't very strong again today. At the beginning of this week you were a lovely strong signal, so maybe it's just conditions there, but that didn't really copy you this morning, I'm afraid. But I hope you're having fun with those resistors anyway. And Martin, morning to you. You're good, lovely strong signal. You're up to about 20 over 9, so you're probably top of the shop this morning. I say, Martin, I heard you yesterday. Actually, I heard you talking to that chap on the Isle of Wight, Peter, yesterday afternoon. You're both lovely strong signals into Bristol. Yesterday afternoon, he certainly sounds absolutely amazing. That setup he's got over there. So that was. I was listening to you on a homemade super het that I made a few years ago, a little valve super het. So you had two nice strong AM signals, were not nice to listen to on a little homebrew receiver. But it's a bit wide for weaker stations. But when the stations are strong, it's nice to listen on that. Les, morning to you, Les. I wonder whether you're I'm not sure where you're located, but you're about 5 over 9 with me this morning, so that's not bad. I don't often hear you, so nice to hear you on this morning. I wonder what your location is. Morning to you, Justin. You're not too bad, but not quite your usual self actually. About 10 over 9, but can do better. I'll give you 7 out of 10 for that. And Paul was about up to about 15 over 9, and I'm very sorry I couldn't really copy Ray. Ray was right down in the noise. I heard a few words and things, but mostly in the noise, I'm afraid. But there we are. And if Keith, if you're listening, G3XDW, if you're listening, I've sent you some resistors in the post, so you might get them today. Little jiffy bag full of those high voltage, high value resistors. Anyway, I think that goes on to Andy next. G4OJY in the group from G6TVJ.
hardly anything from Ray, and I get hardly anything from Andy. And it's this antenna. This is working out well. I hope. By the way there, Martin. But I even Paul was very, very weak there, out of trouble. A lot of QSB going right way down to zero just about. So I'll put it back to you there, Martin. Thanks for passing it on. But it's a no-no for me this morning. I think it's just terrible as far as I'm concerned. And we'll put it back to you there. So I wish you all well. Bye-bye for now. G3.
Yeah, G3 TSK, G3YJ. Well, don't throw the antenna away just yet because conditions are very strange this morning. Paul was going almost down to, only an S point above the noise and up to 9+, and other people have been all over the place. So, and you're still a good signal, good strength 9, so I wouldn't worry. And I doubt it's your antenna. I think it's conditions. So, so don't set fire to it just yet. And Andy, yeah, okay, just about Q5, but I was having to pay attention, and you're only just above the noise. So you've gone from a strength 8 to 9 when you came in, then dropped down. So propagation is moving around. Very good noise, Justin, nice signal. And let me see who else. Well, I think everybody else has vanished now, so I think it's probably just Ian and me. If indeed you're still there, and it may be me talking to myself. So conditions very changeable indeed, but fortunately everybody's been Q5, so with more or less attention needed. Right, I'm going to have to make my way up to London for a lunchtime meeting. And let me just see what's I have plenty of time yet, so I can fiddle around and do a little bit of work, and perhaps even, as I say, I'm getting a little bit of radio before I go. So with that, let me just see if Justin's still there. GW0SZY, G3YJO.
I'm not sure if Les is flying, because he was before me. So I'll take a quick over and I'll just person Les if he's still listening. I know a lot of people are trying, but best everything to everybody who can. Well, I'm going to follow to Andy, if he's still listening, Andy, 5 and 7. Which is right. North, and also from Ray, I know Ray's gone as well, about 5 and 9 plus 10 from you, Ray, if you're still listening. Very good morning to Ian. 5 and 9 plus Ian, not quite as again, not quite as strong as you usually are, but I presume it's just the conditions, as everybody else has been saying, and also Colin down quite a bit, but all Q5 from everybody. I don't have much noise, so even weak stations it usually gets through reasonably well. Yeah, regarding Ray's comments about the battery portable, yeah, I think I did restore one of those high attaché case things. So the one I had a built-in mains transformer, so you could select between mains and battery, which was quite nice. I think it was a bit more of an advanced one. But I've got that one rigged up in my office, which because it's quite high up in the offices, the room, it works quite well actually. Well, it certainly picks up the local radio station, which I have to agree. Certainly during the daytime, there isn't an awful lot of medium wave. I think there's probably the local radio station, which is Swansea Sound, which just is, one of those ones with lots of adverts, and I think BBC Radio Wales is on as well, but that has a lot of Welsh programs on it, so it's all very well if you understand Welsh. And what else? Yeah, 5 Live, yeah, the Talk Sport thing, the sport one, which is on that's usually on all the time. Yeah, you're right. There's not an awful lot on. I think that you can pick up a few more things in the evening. what I did do actually is I got a coil of wire, and I actually coupled it to the beverage, and you can hear a few more stations then if you do that. Anyway, right, better keep on going round. Oh, just a quick message to you, Ian, before you disappear. Just regarding our conversation yesterday about the stash. Yeah, it should be all okay. So, and I mentioned to Kit that you know you're coming as well. So he said all okay on that, and I think they're quite happy to see us. So it'll be probably sometime on Saturday. You know, so if you get over here, it's the usual sort of time, and then we'll drive over. I think their place is somewhere near. I don't think it's too far from Haverfordwest. So it's probably about an hour's drive from where we are, or thereabouts. Anyway, with that, I'll keep it going round. Just trying to think who's next. Oh yeah. If he's not, I think it's probably you, Ian, to pick it up, because I think everybody else is gone. To Echo 0 IBM, Les, if you're listening, over to you. If not, Ian, do you want to pick it up? From GW0 FZY.
G6 TVJ. Okay, Justin. No sign of Les there. Okay. Fine on the message. Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, well, let's do that then. I'll have to. Well, on your net, just tell me exactly when you want me there, and then I'll have to work back from that. Because you're about an hour and 20 minutes away. Saturday morning traffic's pretty good. I could borrow the Lesser Herd Station's tag actually, so I can whiz through the Severn crossing. I tell you what, I went in the wrong booth the other day, and it had it was card only, but they've got contactless there now. Isn't that great? They've got, which is really handy, but then of course they're going to abolish the toll altogether now, so that was a bit late. But anyway, your signals come up. That was 20 over 9, Justin, and Martin, if you're still there, you'd have improved to about 25 over 9. It's funny how this time of the day the skip seems to change quite rapidly, and it seems to be always around about this sort of time, about sort of 8 to 8:30, even though it's summer and winter doesn't seem to make that much difference. But there we are. I heard Andy, but again, the northern station's not copying too well in Bristol this morning. So Andy, you're hovering around S9 if you're still listening. So sorry, I couldn't quite copy all of your over. Not much else to say. I've just got I'm joined here in the shack by my lady Catherine, and I opened her up, and yeah, it's working again now. I have trouble with the switch on mine, Justin. When you open the lid, it's very crackly, and I've had that switch all to pieces and cleaned it all up, sort of silver-plated contacts. Yeah, no, it's very, very crackly. But yesterday in Parliament is on Radio 4 at the moment. But otherwise, it's working really well. And I would say there's actually, there's a reasonable number of stations on medium wave. There's 5 live, and then there's a few other. And my little unit seems to work very well indeed. But there's no Radio Bristol here anymore because they've taken it away. But that used to be a super loud signal. You could get Radio Bristol with a crystal set. You didn't need a power supply. And this one's running on batteries. I've got homemade 90-volt battery and a 1D cell. And of course they're alkalies, so they're much better batteries than what these things would have had originally, because these would have had zinc carbon batteries, which are not very good. Talking of batteries, Justin, waffling on here a bit. My homebrew transmitter, my portable transmitter, the battery pack for it doesn't appear to be doing too well. The terminal voltage has dropped on it quite a bit, and it was probably only running about 290 volts when we were up on the hill the other day. Because the HT volts drop, the power output drops very quickly, so it's probably only running about 3 or 4 watts carrier when we tried it out. And the mod, as Mervyn said, the mod is very downward mod unless you get the thing tweaked up right. So it's difficult to. I need to perfect a way of tuning the thing up in the field. It's all right on the bench, range when I've got oscilloscopes and things, but when I'm out in the middle of a field, it's difficult to know quite how to have those tuning controls on it set. But I might have to maybe revert to a rotary converter or something for the HT supply. Maybe have it run on batteries in receive and run on a rotary converter in transmit. So a little bit of work needed there, but there we are. Anyway, waffling on a bit. I'm not sure who's after, because Paul was after me and he's signed. I think Ray was after me, he's signed. So I think it probably goes back to Martin unless Colin's there. I'll put it to Colin in case he's still there, and otherwise maybe Martin could pick. TSA, if you're still about, from G6 TVJ in the smallish group.
Colin said he was signing, so I didn't hear him, so I guess he would have done. Very nice signal from everybody that's left, and I'm not quite sure who is left. I think it's just you and Justin. TVJ. Yeah, so anyway, both of you good signals, and okay about the QSO yesterday. Now, let's see, I've put my piece of paper away. I can't remember who it was yesterday. It was, anyway, whoever it is, it's gone, but it was down the Isle of Wight, I think it was, and it was very, very nice signals indeed, and we had a good chat. It was very pleasant sort of late in the afternoon. I've been listening on 60 metres, and yesterday morning with G4MXT, I think it was anyway, on 60, but and we were going to wait until a bit later, but I'm not sure it got any better. So I think basically propagation is pretty dire at the moment. Anyway, I will go and get on with a few things this morning before heading up to London. Wish everybody a very good morning. Really good, interesting chat today, and see you all anon, as they say. So with that, I think it must go on to Justin, GW0FZY, G3YJO on the line.
GW0FZY returning. Yeah, all copy there, Martin. Yeah, okay, we'll have a good trip to London and hopefully catch you again pretty soon. And all okay from you, Ian. And yeah, I was quite surprised when you were talking about that battery pack. I would have thought that would have lasted quite a long time. But the volts are starting to drop off. I wonder if one or two of the cells are a bit, a bit iffy or something. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what was going on with my KX3 actually on AM, because it's it's all behaving itself, but well, when we tried to call Mervyn, there didn't be much going out, even though we had a QSO before when it was all okay. So I was actually using it this morning, so I know it's on CW. I did actually try. I could hear there was quite a few American stations on this early this morning. There's one chap who was calling CQ, and I was about to fire up my calling back, and there just be an iffy relay in it. The changeover relay doesn't seem to work. So I had everything set up, and when I tried to, the linear wasn't working. X3 out, from when we were using it the other day, and connect it up to GU81 linear, and I tried to. I think they'd already gone, so it wasn't any good. So then I went on CW instead. Yeah, be interesting, especially on 1.6. Actually, the conditions are much better on the lower band after the summer. Right. What else? Well, I tell Lady Catherine there, Ian. I was just my
my eyebrows raised somewhat when you said, "Oh, you opened up Lady Catherine." Yeah, that was a bit strange, but anyway, I know what you meant. Anyway, yeah, I better say 73s actually, because I've got to go and take a cylinder of welding gas back to the supplier. Cargo shield, which I don't really use, so I use it with a MIG welder, and I don't really do much MIG welding these days, so I'm paying for it, so I don't really use it, so I'm going to take it back. Anyway, with that, I'll say 73s, and I'll just pass it back to you, Ian. G6 TVJ.
G6 TVJ. Still about, you're mostly 20 over 9, dipped a couple of times, but mostly 20 over 9 this morning. Okay. And finally on the old fuel gas here, well, Paul investigated the prices and things, and we did for a while to a lot. Forgotten the name now. Forgotten what they're called now. Not handy gas, something like that. And then we're back with Go C again. But you're right, you have to run a bottle all the time. So if you don't make a lot of use of it, it can be a bit expensive. I think you can get disposable bottles of argon, but then of course we shouldn't be living in this disposable world. It's much better to have something that you can take back. Air products, that's it. That's the other lot. Air products, the other gas there. But they both got depots in Bristol, so they're about the same price really. But there we are. Anyway, nice to talk to you this morning, Justin. Look forward to tomorrow. There's an adventure in prospect. I go myself and my Lady Catherine here are going to go down and have breakfast together. We're going to listen to yesterday in Parliament, I think, on 198 kilohertz upwards. Yeah, I wish 73s, Justin, any other stations that are still out there, and I'll catch you later. From G6 to TVJ.
Yeah, okay then, Ian. I'll speak to you later. And yeah, just regarding tomorrow, I think just come at the usual time, and then we'll aim to get there sort of just before lunch. Maybe we can go out with them with lunch or something. I'm sure they know a pub or something. You know, it'd be quite good. Yeah, we'll have a look at all that tat, which looks quite eye-watering, I must admit. Apparently, there's more of it. So yeah, we'll just have to take what we can. Anyway. See you later then, Ian, and best 73s from GW0FZY, now QRT.
Shush, Justin, you don't know who might be listening.
Yeah, well, they don't know where it is, that's the thing. Cheers then.